Hey everyone, Nate here from Octave Studios. This week we're not doing a tips and tricks episode. This week I wanted to do something a little different, and let's go into everything that was Alternative Waves 2019. There was a lot going into it. I have a lot of people I want to thank, and there's some things that I can't go into on a Facebook post that I feel is easier to put out through a video like this. So I guess we'll just dive into it. We're not going to have that little intro cutaway thing. We're just going to go right into it. So Alt Waves 2019 was a very long ordeal that I am glad came to fruition. I wanted to get this thing going back at the start of September, but before I even dive into like this year, I want to give a little bit of backstory into Alternative Waves in general. Way back when, in like 2014, 2015, I was starting to get a bit more predominant within my local metal and punk scene. I was doing more promotion. I was playing more in town with one of my bands at the time. We weren't overly popular, but we were doing what we could within the scene. And I, as a promoter, was just trying to help out a bunch of different styles of music because I felt we had become very thrash heavy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to see more people feel inclined to become a part of the scene. And I wanted to reach out and bring more aspects into it. Throughout a few years there, I'd done a few kind of like 420 festivals here and there, which allowed me to do more open genre stuff, and the people that helped me put those together were very resourceful in helping make sure that they kind of jived. But I wanted to do like a large scale festival, like a 2-day thing where people would come, have a good time, and it really hit that multi-genre thing. In 2015, myself and alongside of a few friends right up here, we all tried that, and we overlooked a lot of things. We didn't quite go into it as well as we should have, and in the end, only a few of us were really doing a lot of the work while others were doing what they could, but there was a lot of heavy lifting that had to be pulled by a few select individuals. And in reality, we failed really hard. And I mean, like, I was paying that thing off for a solid year and a half after the fact. Other people were still doing that the same. We didn't do a near good enough cleanup from what I hear, which is a shame because we tried, but there were just things that we hadn't thought of leading up to that festival that made things difficult. And a lot of individuals felt very disheartened by this. I personally took it as a huge learning experience because my ultimate idea was we had succeeded in pulling it off. We just didn't pull it off in a way that allowed us to make it a yearly thing. If we're paying it off for 2 years after the fact, it's something that will take better time, better planning, and needs to be strategized better. We had put it out of town, outside. We didn't have any transportation to get to and from. We heavily overestimated what we needed for a lot of our stuff. We had some things that got canceled last minute that led to last minute expenses to make sure they were covered. And like, you couldn't mosh. Like, it was just one of those things where we wanted to do something, but we couldn't quite pull it off. And instead of just reassessing and starting over, we kept going with the main game plan, and ultimately it failed. 4 years later, though, I'm personally thinking of relocating to Calgary in the next few months here because I want to help out in that community because I have a lot of friends there and still be a part of the Medicine Hat scene, come in and do shows from afar. But I want to do one last thing in Medicine Hat while I was still here to try and get some momentum again for the scene here because things are going very well. We have a lot of diversity now in our scene. We have a lot of different styles of music and bands, but we've been stuck to the same venues to an extent, and we haven't really bridged any divides or any gaps. Like, we're still hitting our precipice. We haven't seen numbers increase, and they've been sort of the same, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I like seeing growth. And I thought if I could get the right people on board, maybe we could try to do a actual open genre festival, not just like the different aspects of punk, metal, and rock, but actually bring in some rappers and some DJs and work on every aspect, see how all the genres are receptive, see how the crowd's receptive to them, and see just what we can do if we pull it off closer within the city. I had a few friends that had jumped on board but could not participate in the end after everything, that was fine. The people that came in afterwards that I want to thank right now, Keith, Colton, Sean, Matt, and then Mason, these cats came in and really helped with it when it came down to the final organization. I had the idea, I had the submission forms ready, I had the rough idea for what our venues were going to be kind of lined up, but overall, like, we still had a lot of things that needed to be done, and I knew I couldn't do it on my own. People like Keith really just outdid themselves. Like, they came in, and I was expecting everyone to just kind of do the minimum, maybe have a few individuals do a bit more because they're looking to get into promotion after I depart. And Keith took the ball and ran with it. We've doubled our bands. We doubled the time that we had the event on. We doubled our stages. We doubled our sponsors. And overall, it was a fantastic event. Not just because of what everyone else did, but hugely because of the amount of work Keith did behind the scenes. So that's my first main thank you is Keith. Thank you very much for just doing what you could. Colton, Sean, Matt, Mason, you guys kicked ass as well and did what you could, and I really appreciate it. We couldn't have done this without any one of these individuals. I personally couldn't have even got this idea off the ground without you guys, so thank you. But even with us at the forefront of getting everything organized, we still needed help from, again, our sponsors. And that's why I need to thank these people again, because when we did the 2015 one, we had a good amount of sponsors. We had about 10 sponsors, and a lot of them came back for this one, which to me, I thought was really awesome because it meant that we at least did something right to a degree the first time. And the people that came out and helped out this time, you helped to make it possible. You helped allow us to use venues, get fencing in, afford our PA, afford to pay some of our bands and their guarantees. So Big Al's, Rock 105.3, Asher Media, Community TV, Hemptown Rock, The Mainliner Pub, Buzz Radio, 616 Entertainment, White Rabbit Tattoo, Liza Coin, and Murray Chevrolet, Hell's Basement, Med Hat Brew Co., Lucky Squid, and Culligan. Thank you. You guys helped tremendously. Culligan supplied us with some water. Hell's Basement supplied us with some beer for the bands, and a lot of them really liked it. Brewco helped us financially. Big Al's donated a bunch of music and sold tickets. Hemptown donated some items and sold tickets. Hat News and Tobacco sold tickets for us, and we really appreciate that. Rock 105 presented the event. Community TV helped us run ads. Like, you guys were extremely helpful in getting the word out, and that just helped us focus on what we needed to do. We did our promotion where we needed to. We got the word out where we needed to, but you guys really helped us as well. And Rock 105, thank you again for helping present the event. Hopefully we can do this every year. When it came down to the actual days of the event, we had way more people decide to show up and help out in comparison to the first year. The first year, everyone who showed up, they did what they could, and they're still appreciated for that. But a few individuals that we did have didn't quite grasp the full job, and we also didn't provide all the material, so it made it more difficult for them to do their job. And we were just very short-handed the first year around. This time, we had at least 20 people that were there to help out throughout the entirety of the event. I'm going to list them all off here because, again, you are greatly appreciated. Some of them are going to be like the main guys that I already listed off, but this was everyone that helped. Sasha, Ryan, Matt, Mika, Matrix, Janae, Emily, Cody, Kaylin, Colton, Amanda, Mason, Sean, Keith, Jesse, Jazz, Steph, Josh, Talty, Ethan, and lastly, Vannon. Like, thank all of you guys for being a part of this and helping us run everything smoothly. I know Mason and I were basically running stage one outside. We had Lenny in the Rona running sound. Thank you, Lenny. You helped out a lot with that aspect, considering all the confusion that was going on. And it helped everything run smoothly. Having people that were at the door and were competent with the door, that were checking people, making sure everything was running smoothly. Security guards, our stage crew, like helping myself and Mason keep everything maintained on both stages. That was a really huge help. Clean up at the end of the night, like all of that. We really do appreciate all your help. Without you, like, we probably could have done this, but it would have been behind time. Bands would have lost time on their sets, and people probably wouldn't have had as much fun. So thank you for making it easier for all of us to do what we needed to do and covering our backs and doing the things that we needed done, because it just made the entire weekend run a lot smoother. Thank you, Rob, at the Mainliner. Like, you helped us out with the venue. You helped us out with the stage. You helped us pay for the fencing we needed. Like, everything that we needed, if there was an adjustment that needed to happen, you helped us out. You explained your end. You took in our end, and we found a good compromise that worked for both parties. And hopefully we can do this again at the Mainliner, because I really like the location. I really appreciate all the help you've had, and I hope things kind of looked good for you there too. And then, very lastly, there's all the bands. Like, we had twice the bands that we had in 2015, and some of them like came back out of retirement for this show, and that just blew me away. I want to thank Toki, The Worst, Old Youth, Hot Lemonade, Crimson Caliber, X Agency, Sugar Wash, Next Level, Spit of the Sin, Brand Scott, Jesse Patrick, Grand Evil, Revankist, A Nobody's Achievement, Balrogoth, Soul Runner, Raising the Ruins, ONTK, Poke the Bear, Widow's Peak, Green Bones, Simple Jack, Flashback, Toast, The 11th Letter, Lacuna, Code Out, Crooked Minds, Rainbow Patrol, Sammy and the Fiend, The Psychonauts, Shark Week, Shadow of Death, Mistaken, Hebe, The Galacticas, Youngbloods, Philly and Marshall Max, Chilliclosm, DJ Steve Foley, and Naraka. You guys all made it absolutely amazing. And there's something that I need to say about Shadow of Death. I know if you've heard the podcast or anything I've said recently, I really like these guys. And it's not just their music, it's their energy as people. I mean, I have a live video right here you can check out on my channel. And quite frankly, they are a band to keep an eye on. They had a blast here in Canada. I think we really left an impression with them. And all three of the guys in that band are stand-up individuals. Eddie, Gus, Marco, like, you guys are fantastic people. Keep doing what you're doing. Vannon, Drayden, all Vannon and everyone in Naraka. Like, I cannot thank you guys enough for coming back and playing this show. Vannon is the dude that originally brought me into this scene. That's why I use his song Carnal Tide for all my podcast episodes on the intro. He brought me into this scene when I was the weird looking emo kid in the thrash scene that wanted to become a part of it. He threw me behind a soundboard, and I actually met a lot of good friends that I still have now within those first 2 months of working in the scene here at the Metal Fest, the Punk Fest, and just all the shows that Vannon threw me on right away. Between myself and Colton, he has taught a lot of people a lot of things in this scene, and to have him come back and end the night off and the festival off was amazing. That's all I can say. And hearing songs like Journey for the first time in 7 years, it was a moment to remember, and I'm very happy that I was able to catch that on video. I'm going to be putting that up on YouTube probably tomorrow. I believe that's what I'm going to put up instead of my covers for the next little bit, because I lost my voice during their set. I remember I got home, did the podcast the next day, and I'm still recovering from just yelling along throughout their entire set. So go check out their music. It is on Spotify. Go check out Shadow of Death's music on Spotify. And just go and check out any of these bands. Go and support them. They're solid individuals. A lot of them offered to play for free, which really helped us out. We wanted to pay every band. Some bands had guarantees, and then other bands offered to play for free, and we wanted to give them something. That's why we got some photos, we got some live videos. We weren't able to do everything that I personally wanted to do, and that just comes down to myself not having enough time and coordination to fully execute on it. But the fact that these guys helped out, we made enough to at least say that we could send bands something if they wanted it, but it's peanuts. It's like, if a band wants $10 from us, we will send it, but we feel like we're insulting them by doing so if we just send it off. And what we're doing with that little bit of margin instead is putting it aside so that we can have more shows like this and make sure that we can pay everyone and pay everything and have everything done accordingly. And the fact that this festival went over as well as it did shows that next year we could possibly do this at the same scale and have it double in turnout and have everyone walk away with something and even be able to put stuff aside for the following year. And that's what we want to do. We want to have this festival continue to grow. We want to have it grow our community and our music scene and just kind of give everyone a platform to be heard, regardless of your style. If you're driven and good enough, we want to be able to give a platform for you to perform. And something like this, I think, is something that we could possibly do yearly and have. I think we could have it grow. Not sure to what size, but just something that could happen annually and just provide this opportunity and kind of do something within this community on the more alternative side of things and showcase the other aspect of art and music that we have here. Because there's Jazz Fest, which is fantastic, but having something like this, I really think showcases everything and gives everyone a little bit of spotlight. And without everyone involved, from the people that paid at the door to the people that volunteered to the people that put in hours of unpaid time to help organize and put this all together, who lost money just to make sure certain things were taken care of. Thank you. This could not have happened in any way, shape, or form without all those efforts. And I'm excited to see what happens next year. So without further ado, take care. Check out any of these bands' music. If you're into rock, metal, punk, metalcore, EDM, rap, there's something there for you. And until next time, we'll see ya. Take care.
For you, but it's for every one of you that are here with the band, taking beer, smashing the fucking stage, and listen. What? My share? Okay. I think I'm pregnant, dude. Fuck yeah! What a guess! It's a Nathan, baby! Oh, you're pregnant too! What the shit! It's a beer? It's a beer! It's a beer! It's a beer, baby! So the next song, it's about drink beer, have a good time with friends, listen to metal music. Yeah. This song called The Trash Brigade. Hey guys, we want to see you smash this stage. So come over here and let me feel your energy. Let me feel your fucking energy, Canada. Come over here with me. Come on. Come over here. Yeah, don't be shy. Come over here. Yeah, that's awesome. Come over here. And we want to see you bang your fucking head. Yeah. We want to see you bang your fucking head. Yeah. Just break your neck, dude. Break your fucking necks with us, you know? Yeah! This is a Trash Brigade. To trash the outwaves, you know? Thank you so much. Really thank you so much to Nathaniel that make this possible. Thank you so much to Nathan Trash, to Boyko. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our friends of Barlagol. Yeah! They are amazing. That guys are amazing. Yeah.
It's a video.